Hello, my name is Quentin or Pie God. I'm going to be talking about Dragon's Dogma's Netflix adaptation. I felt the need to talk about this, not that my opinion's particularly validated or anything like that. I feel like this is going to be pretty interesting to a lot of people, so I figured I'd talk about it. Now, before we actually get into this, I do gotta say, sorry about any sort of background noise. Sorry if you can hear anything annoying from my mic or anything like that, or sorry if it doesn't sound too good. This is my first time doing this, and talking to yourself is pretty strange. So I got a little checklist of things here I wanted to talk about the series itself. First off, let's talk about the looks. The look of the anime itself looks really similar to Berserk 2016. It has that same CGI style, kinda semi-detailed character models, but they look fine. Now, similarly with Berserk 2016, a lot of the monsters look really, really shitty. And when I I just want to shit on this, but it looks really bad. It's a different type of CGI altogether, and it looks like they didn't take nearly enough time into the models themselves, but they're animated decently, It looks fine. The backgrounds, they also look really nice. They match well with the main character models, I guess the human models. But again, the monster models do look really out of place. They look like something from, I don't know, maybe an early 2000s movie with the CGI that they use on them. And I think that's kind of funny, because you think with all that Netflix funding and money, that, cha-ching, it's gonna look really good, but I guess not. It might even be the same studio that made Berserk. I don't know. I didn't do too much research. I just watched it last night, and I thought, hey, this is gonna be really interesting to hear what people have to say about it. So here's what I have to say about it. Getting more into the particulars of the character models themselves, actually seeing what the characters are wearing looks great. It looks like it's inspired from the game. Obviously, it's not going to be a one-for-one, but say you see the guard armor in game, and you're like, wow, in this Netflix adaptation, that's the same thing. Colors are a bit shifted, a bit different, but it looks fantastic. You see some characters, I'm not going to say anything that's kind of spoiler, but you see some character like, hey, this looks like the guy from the game. I thought that was cool. It has a lot of wow moments like that in itself. Like the main character, he's like, oh, his sword, he has the broadsword from the game. Whoa! Although I guess that's really just any generic sword in general. I'm generalizing too much there. Not any sword. It's a figure of speech. And again, with that wow, it's from the game factor, you also see a lot of abilities from the game too, and it's awesome seeing that. It makes me think, holy shit, they did their homework on a lot of this. This is really cool. Seeing the monsters one for one. So far in the series, there's a Cyclops, there's the dragon, there's a Hydra, there's wolves, although the wolves are pretty generic. But you see a lot of cool stuff like that, and even spells that the characters use. It's really awesome to see. Even enchantments. It's like the people who made this have played the game. So I gotta give them respect on that. It's really, really cool. I can't stress that enough. That it's almost impressive, because I wasn't expecting that. So if you're looking at it from that way, be happy. Now I guess let's start getting into the characters and the plot. The main character himself, or I guess one of them, the main protagonist, his name is Ethan. He looks like the main character from Dragon's Dogma, the main male character. He starts off in the village Cardassaris, or however you pronounce it, sorry about that, but the main village from the game. He starts off with his wife and another kid that he and his wife sort of adopt, and he lives with them. He starts off with them, they're his family. Now obviously, he becomes arisen, so something bad's gonna happen there. The plot's pretty generic like that, but, whatever. Fantasy. It's always the same thing. There's not too much originality there anymore. So the dragon swoops in. I'm just going to shorten this down really quickly. Nothing too major spoilers. This is all first episode. Dragon swoops in, kills his family, and then he wants to kill the dragon. The dragon cuts his heart out, or I guess uses magic in this time instead of using its claw, eats his heart, and then leaves him on the floor bleeding to death. Sorry about the cut right there. But after it does that, his pawn then comes in and saves him after she, I guess, spawns at a riftstone up on the hill above the village itself. Ethan then wakes up in his bed, and he wonders where he is. He runs outside, and he's obviously pretty frantic about it. He's wondering what happened. Where's his family? Are they actually dead? Ethan then finds the remains of his wife, and he finds a bracelet that him and his wife wore. I'm guessing it's similar to a wedding ring. And this is kind of what gets him to his vow to destroy the dragon, because, memories, and he wants revenge for his family that he couldn't have. This is where the series starts to begin on the whole grand adventure. I haven't forgotten about Ethan's pawn, in case that's what you're thinking. Ethan's pawn doesn't have a name when they first get introduced to each other. She pledges herself to Ethan, because Arisen and pawn, what the point of the pawn is to protect and serve the Arisen. So she says she will serve him, protect him, keep him alive. Obviously, when I say protect him, I mean that. But she doesn't have a name. So a bit later down the line, Ethan gives her a name, and her name is Hannah. Hannah was, I believe, Ethan's mother? I think it was Ethan's mother's name, or Ethan's grandmother. I can't particularly remember, so sorry about that. But that's her new name. I guess I say new name. I guess it's better than pawn, isn't it? So, for what I'm going to be talking about next involving the plot, I'm not going to get too deep into it. But, so, what Ethan does is at first he's sort of like I see somebody in danger, I need to help them, a more generic good guy. So he sees a woman in danger, his first reaction is, I need to help her. Which, hey, wouldn't you do the same if you were playing Dragon's Dogma and if you were the hero? So he really starts off as a goody two-shoes basic hero, helping anybody he can. But one thing that I liked about this, because at first it painted it sort of as a really black and white situation involving the people that he helps, involving a town mayor, or a town lord as well. It makes it seem really black and white at first, like, he's bad, involving the girl, that's also, she's good, he's bad. But it actually, after Ethan thinks he solved the problem, it actually sort of turns out kind of bad as well. Like, maybe it was for their own good in a way, partially, which I actually kind of liked. It's nothing super deep, but it's interesting. I didn't expect them to do that. I thought it was just going to be really goody two-shoes. So whatever. Pretty generic. Several times throughout the story, Ethan decides to just help random people he meets along the way, and it's a life or death type of situation. Like, this is one example. They're fighting, I think it was goblins, it was goblins. They're fighting goblins, and these people are going to get slaughtered, so Ethan decides to help them, which, why wouldn't he? He's not... Would that just make you a dick, or that... I guess that just makes you a dick. But, yeah, he decides to help them. He helps, it's like a woman, these two guards, and some noble. Kills the goblins, clearly. They run off. Then at another point, slightly later down the line, this is within the same episode, by the way, they get attacked by a griffin. He helps them again, clearly. Griffin gets scared off, whatever. They all go along their merry way. Everybody's happy. I guess not everybody. But it's points like that where it's just really sort of generic with the outcome of this. Overall, now there are some unexpected, there's the word, sorry about that, unexpected twists and turns that you really didn't see coming. But then it's just kind of, it feels so out of place with the way they put him in there. It feels almost kind of lazy, and it makes me laugh, because it's just, you watch it, and it's like a what the fuck kind of moment. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would that have happened? What reason is there for that to happen? It's stupid, almost. And there's a few moments like that where you just wonder, why? Why did this character do this? Why did this happen? That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. We're watching this clip right here. This guy's about to get me killed by Friendly Fire and War Thunder. And these guys, they're in the same team too, or same squad and clan. No clue why, but I guess it was worth killing me for some reason. But back on things that are just why some people might not be comfortable with nudity. And at some points, this does have quite a bit of, it's just breasts. Pretty nice animated titties, but titties nonetheless. But if you're not comfortable with that, this does show it a few times. It's not all the time. It certainly happens a few times, so just be mindful of that. Another why thing that, I guess this is explained, but it's not explained well, is Ethan, the main character. At random points throughout the story, you'll go through some sort of rage mode where he gets angry and he's able to fight better. This is explained, but I don't like the explanation. I won't go into it because it's a spoiler, but it's very poorly done in my opinion. Alright, I feel like I'm done, I guess, shitting on this now because I don't just want to be all negative about it. There are certain aspects that are really positive. It's just an up and a down type of thing. One of the more positive aspects about this is the music is fantastic. It really reminds me of Dragon's Dogma, which I personally like the OST of that game. Thought it was great. Another great aspect of it. But I guess let's start wrapping this up. Let's get into the end. And again, no spoilers here. No substantial spoilers, just some minor stuff. So with the end, like the whole rest of the series, it's extremely meh. There are some aspects of it that's like, wow, I didn't see that coming. But then there's other aspects that are like, are you kidding me? This is so damn generic, I can't believe it. It makes me laugh thinking about it. Because this overall was just a really alright experience that borders on bad a lot of the time. Except for the occasional wow factor that you get just from seeing something that's in the game. It's not too good. Would I recommend it? If you like the game, certainly. If you're just a random person who's, ooh, what's this? You know, I heard about Dragon's Dogma and it's based off of a game, I couldn't recommend it. The plot's not particularly good. It has a decent setup, but it's just not executed well, just like the game itself. What made the game so entertaining was, I guess, the action itself, like these story moments that you go through and it's like, holy shit, this is badass. But it doesn't have a lot of those because, again, it's very short. Out of 10, I don't know, I'd probably give it like a 6.5. Even that might be like a 6 even. Because it's just not that good. And I'm sorry about that. Again, this is my opinion. And to anybody who actually ended up watching this, if anybody does, I don't know, tell me yours if you've seen it, or even if you haven't. Whatever. Thanks for watching, potentially towards the end if you have, and goodbye.